This is Adam Martin with your Western District Fishing Report. Both Kentucky and Barkley Lakes are slightly above summer pool elevation at 359.5 and projected to rise to 360. That, coupled with the warming water temperatures now in the mid-60s, has spurred the spawn for most of our sportfish species. You can find abundant crappie, bass, bluegill, and red ear right now in the shallows around any kind of flooded cover such as button bushes or grass. So now is the time to target those shallow fish if that's the kind of fishing you like to do. In the tailwaters, anglers have been reporting good catches of catfish, and snagging is still popular for Asian carp species in that region. Lake Bashir, bass are starting to move shallow. We picked up a number of extremely large largemouth during our spring electrofishing survey. So if you're after a trophy, I highly recommend you check out Lake Bashir. Thanks.
This is Rob Rold in the Northwestern Fishery District with an update on fishing in our area lakes. This prior weekend, most of the district got around 3 to 4 inches of rain. That mostly fell through the Rough River Lake, Nolin River Lake watershed, so both those lakes are up quite a bit. Rough River Lake jumped 7 feet. It's about 10 feet over summer pool now. Nolin came up 6 feet, and it's around 3 feet over summer pool. And the upper ends of those lakes, as well as the upper river above them, pretty muddy at this point. But the bass were doing well early last week on both Rough and Nolin, catching several nice ones. However, the spawn basically occurred last week, and end of the week it was post-spawn, and all those bass were moving offshore. So things slowed down quite a bit. Those bass will kind of hang out in some deeper water and recoup for a week or two from the stress of spawning, and then they'll be moving back up on the ledges and around structure, and it'll be feeding again. But right now, again, bass are pretty slow at both those lakes. Crappie have been good at Nolin, however they're starting to slow down. They are catching a few larger ones, 6 to 8 feet deep, around some of the main lake structure. White bass were really hot in the upper lake, Bacon Creek area, on up to Broad Ford. However, this rain last weekend, I'm sure that's slowed it down a whole lot. They'll pretty much shut down when that water gets muddy. So let the upper river clear up again, and as soon as it does clear up, should be able to start catching the white bass again around the Bacon Creek, Broad Ford, Cane Run area. Rough River Lake has probably been one of the best crappie years we've had in a long time. Catching a lot of 12-inch plus fish, several limits over the last 2 or 3 weeks. However, it has started to slow down quite a bit. Late last week started slowing. They are still picking up some good nice fish, 4 to 6 feet deep, around some of the tributary mouths as well as the main lake. Hybrid striped bass in the upper Rough River, a lot of them are up above Evilly area. Been catching several there. They're also still picking up a few in the main lake. The hybrids are doing well. Like I say, the muddiness upriver has probably slowed that down. Lake Malone, seen several 5 to 7 pounders come out over the last 2 or 3 weeks. But again, it's post-spawn and things are slowing down there. Peabody, Pitts, bass, crappie, both been active, starting to slow down slightly. However, bluegill and red ear are starting to pick up, and anglers have been catching some nice bluegill and red ear in those lakes. Our Finns lakes have all been stocked last week with catfish, and that's Panther Creek Park, Yellow Creek Park, Wayman Morris Park in Davis County, as well as Madisonville City Park Lake and Bevel Park Lake in Litchfield. So anglers catching several of those over the weekend when they were dodging the rain. Rivers are up high and muddy, the Green River and Ohio River, so very little activity there. That is an update from the Northwestern Fishery District. Please remember, be safe on the water and always wear your life jackets.